The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
14:20 in the morning, 14 minutes and 20 seconds worth of sports talk to get you through your daily commute. Hot takes, recaps, best bets, and a little humor to get your day going in the right direction. Sit back, grab your coffee, and let's get into it.
All right, 14:20 in the morning for this 19th day of February 2024. Today's show, as always, is brought to you by SeatGeek.com and the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420pod at SeatGeek.com today for all your ticket needs and get yourself $20 off your first purchase by using promo code 1420pod over there at SeatGeek.com today. Remember, we are part of the Belly Up Media Network. Go to BellyUpSports.com for all their great articles and other great podcasts such as No Credentials Required, Rise of the Occasion, and Aaron and Joey over there at Brilliant Sports. So make sure you guys go to BellyUpSports.com. Check what everything got going over there. And thank you to everybody who listens to our show and downloads it and watches on YouTube. Thank you very much for making us a part of your day each and every day from wherever you may be listening to. Took the weekend off in the podcast world. I have one thing that's near and dear to my heart is obviously the town of Fort McLeod where I grew up. They had their Hockey Through the Ages tournament this weekend. A great charity event, raised over $50,000 for the community. Stays right in the community every time that those guys get her done, get her taken care of out there. This year it was kids sport. They're trying to get some new kids facilities, outdoor facilities in Fort McLeod. They got rid of some for some various reasons over the years, but the money will go to that. So thank you very much to Scott and Rob and Mike Davis and all the rest of the guys who were part of that organization, everybody who donated their time and energy. And I ended up playing hockey a little bit this weekend. I had played in 2 games. Friend of the show and a close friend of mine, Wes Stockton, he went down in the first 10 minutes of the first game, so I took his place on defense. Didn't factor in the score, but I had a pretty good time out there, and we didn't fare too well, but a lot of fun was had. But anyways, the Major League Baseball spring training, all the pitchers and catchers they reported last week. Position players started arriving to their respective teams yesterday, and most other guys started showing up today. And then I think games start next on Thursday or Friday afternoon, so that's always a nice time of year when the games start going on TV. You don't got to watch old reruns, everything else, and all the speculation. I know nothing really gets accomplished in the spring training game, but it's always fun to watch, see how guys are fitting in, see how guys are changing up things a little bit. So it's always fun to watch baseball games and just in a relaxed atmosphere where the games don't mean a whole heck of a lot, obviously, in the standings, but it's always nice to get baseball back on TV, whether it be watching from games that are in Arizona or in Florida. But the biggest, there's 5 storylines that I was kind of looking at over the last couple of days. Like I said, I kind of took the weekend off from the sports world, in my own little sports world in Fort McLeod there, but I was driving home yesterday and I was listening to MLB radio, and I got thinking about some other things that were kind of crossing my mind for the upcoming baseball season. And I got 5 storylines that I found interesting to between my ears and inside my coconut that I hope you guys find interesting as well. Number 1 is the Oakland A's situation. That's going to be a bit of a disaster for the next few years, and everybody knows they're moving, not moving, they're moving. They're not really know where they're going to play, how it's all going to pan out. But the one thing that's going to be interesting to me to watch is how bad is that team going to be? There's not going to be any free agents. Obviously, don't want to go there. You're going to get bottom of the barrel, bottom run guys that will want to just be in the big leagues and play in the big leagues. I know it's not a big league situation that they have in Oakland, but how bad are they going to be this year? And what can they possibly do to bring a few fans into that building? And like there was nights out there, you wouldn't think that there was 800 people in the stands, but it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out in the coming year. And there's a situation that came up last week or 2 weeks ago. I was listening to guys over at Craft Brewed Sports, and basically the owner of Vegas is like, well, if you don't like the deal, or the mayor of Vegas like, well, if you don't want to come here for our stipulations, then don't. So thanks, bye, see ya. And then the mayor of Oakland basically has come out and said that they could have a stadium ready in 2 to 3 years under different financial situations, but it was going to be something that Fisher didn't want to get done. And so now there's already talk that if MLB expands or if a team moves, that Oakland could be a destination, because there might be naming rights that they could figure out a way to keep the name A's in Oakland, because I don't think you could rebrand a team, go back to Oakland and call them something else. I think that'd have to be the A's, and a fresh start in a new city. If they do move to Las Vegas, a new start to having them called something other than the A's would probably be a better decision in the long run. So you wouldn't want 2 Oakland teams called what they were called in Oakland, both in Las Vegas, like with the with the Raiders. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out and how the crowds are going to be and how bad that team's going to be. It's too bad that it got to this point, but it's been a long time coming that Fisher's wanted out of Oakland, and it's been a long time coming that that they're going. It's just time to go. Thanks, bye, see ya, and that's it. The next one for me today, Mike Trout came out and he made some comments basically asking, or pretty much, he's when Mike Trout asks, he's not asking, he's telling his owner to do something. But he came out and basically said to owner Artie Moreno that can we go make some trades? Can we go make some deals? Can we go get a couple of these free agents that are still sitting around the waiting for a team to go to? And there's some major guys, and they're all Scott Boras clients for some reason. Surprise, surprise, Boras is playing the waiting game. All of a sudden, there's no money left for some of these guys. And then what are you going to do? But Trout come out basically. He wants to stay in Los Angeles with the Anaheim Angels, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, whatever they're called. And he wants to stay there. He's there for the long run. He's committed to staying there. But is he really committed? Was he making that statement today, saying that Artie Moreno should go out and make some deals, sign some players? Was that basically a warning shot going out to the to his ownership group, saying, "Listen, I'm committed to staying here, but I will play my ass off." But he did say that him being sidelined last year and out with injuries hurts his team's chance of winning a lot. But I think that was a warning shot from Trout, because he never really says much. And was that a warning shot from Trout saying, you know what? I asked. They didn't listen. Maybe time for me to go when they start off the season 26 and 46 and say, you know what, this is a dead end this year. It's going to be a dead end next year, and I only have X amount of years of good baseball left in me. He's 32 years old, and maybe his best days are already behind him. And they didn't make that deal last year at the deadline when they could have got some prospects, could have got some players for Shohei Ohtani. They went for it, and it turned out to be a big mistake. I know it's tough to deal Ohtani. We'll get to him in half a second, but it's tough to make a deal for a guy like that, because really, what's your return on that investment? And what are you going to get? What are you going to get for a guy like Ohtani? It's a different situation that the Angels were in last year. But now you have a guy with Mike Trout saying, you know what, go get some deals. There's still some players out there. There's still some pitchers out there. Specifically, he mentioned some guys with the Blake Snell and Jordan Montgomery signing from 1-year deals. That might be all they can get right now. But it's one of those things that Trout maybe set out the warning signs, signals saying, you know what, I asked, you didn't reciprocate, so now you know what, it's time for Mike Trout to take his services elsewhere. And I think that's going to be a big storyline in the weeks and months months to come. I wouldn't say weeks, but in the months to come. 1st of June, if they're having another bad season, which I fully expect them to have a bad season again, are they going to be Mike Troutless as well? And then what? And then what do the Angels have without Mike Trout? I mean, they don't have much as it is. Without Mike Trout, they have next to nothing. And Trout's got to have. We talk about all the time that like Trout's an all-timer, probably going to the Hall of Fame already, no matter what. But eventually, you have all the stats in the world. But if you don't have that champion moniker on your plaque in Cooperstown, it doesn't mean a whole bunch. It's an honor to go to Cooperstown. I fully understand that. But championships are the ones that matters. Championships make you all-timers or legendary, right? So it's one of those things. You can be a Hall of Famer, but legends are a lot different. And you got to win to become a legend, in my estimation, my guesses. Anyways, number 3 on my list of what's going to happen this year, big storylines. It's to me, is it Dodgers win a World Series or bust? I know they got that one in 2020. The COVID year that kind of counts. Dave, my co-host here at 1420 Land, we're on the air tonight. Check your local listing, 7:30 Mountain Standard Time. We usually record that, but it's one of those things. Dave calls it the 3-quarter World Series, and I agree with him. So they haven't had a World Series since 1988. Well documented. They've been in the playoffs 11 straight years. They've got the ownership group, that Guggenheim group, that's not led by, but Magic Johnson's their figurehead, and they've been there year in, year out. They haven't been afraid to spend money over the years. They've been dipping deep. They went out and got Ohtani this year for $700 million, bunch of deferred money and everything else. But the big signing for me, they went out and got some pitching with Yamamoto and Tyler Glasnow. I know Glasnow, hence his, it's kind of ironic. His name's Glasnow. He's kind of made of glass. But if he can stay healthy, I mean, every player, if they can stay healthy, if Glasnow can stay healthy and get them 30 quality starts throughout the season, that's going to be a big thing. And get to playoff time, that's going to be huge. And Yamamoto, we don't know what he's going to be, but by all intent, he's going to be a great one. I don't see how a team would possibly invest $325 million in a pitcher if they didn't think he was going to be great. And he had a lot of suitors out there. It wasn't just the Dodgers spending money. There was a lot of teams that were looking to get Yamamoto. So I expect him to be the next Japanese great coming over and pitching there. So the Dodgers are set up. Freddie Freeman's there. You have Mookie Betts, obviously. They're a great team. Teoscar Hernandez signed on and on it goes. And Ohtani, yeah, he's not going to pitch this year, but having him at DH throughout the year, it doesn't hurt. So you look at 4 or 5 guys in that lineup, and we haven't even got into the other depth guys on that team that could say that, you know what, this year the Dodgers, I think it's World Series or bust for them. Clayton Kershaw, he's getting a little long in the tooth. He signed to come on once his shoulders feeling a little more better, and he'll be there mid June to early July when he's expected to come by. So that rotation is going to be stacked, and they'll have themselves a chance to win another World Series. And if they don't do it this year, then when? They're just like who was in the Super Bowl a couple of weeks back that I've already forgot. That's how much I care about the Super Bowl. San Francisco 49ers. It's the same situation there, that if not this year, then when? You can't just keep buying and buying and buying. Eventually it might be just a organizational problem with why they're not winning World Series. They ran into a juggernaut last year with the Arizona Diamondbacks, but that's comes down to pitching. So you get these two guys, you get into that 3-game series, a 3-game wild card series that you try to avoid, but it happens. You got two guys at the top of your rotation that can win you some ball games, and they got a chance to win themselves a World Series again. But like I said, if not now, then when? Number 4 for me, storylines to look out for this year is the Baltimore Orioles. Will they be able to repeat what they got done last year? 101 win season, remarkable season. Everything kind of came together. You had the Jays didn't have a very good year last year. They're expected to do a lot more. The Yankees had an off season, and the Orioles took full advantage of it. But they went out and got Corbin Burns in a trade with the Milwaukee Brewers, so that's going to help that ball club a lot. He's a great player. And this Jackson Holiday, he gets a 20-year-old stud, number 1 prospect in all of baseball. Is he going to make the opening day roster and help that team out even more? I believe he will. The one step back that they're going to have going out and getting Craig Kimbrell, they had to get something done because their closer Felix Bautista is out for the year with Tommy John, which he suffered near the end of the last season, I believe it was. So that's one of those things where they're going to take a step back with Craig Kimbrell, but they score enough runs where the closer situation isn't that important because they hit the ball so damn well. But you look at that team, 101 wins might be a lofty goal for them coming into this offseason or coming into this season, because like I said, I think the Yankees will be a better baseball team, or the Yankees a World Series team. I couldn't get out with talking about the Yankees, as I always do, being a Yankee dork like I am. But you look at that, they'll be a lot better this year with Soto. You want to have a healthy Judge. I hope Stanton has a better year, and they have a better pitching rotation as they went out and added Stroman, and then they got Verdugo, who I'm not big on. It's one of those things. We've talked about that a time or two about my thoughts on Stroman and Verdugo. I'm not too keen on him, but Soto's going to improve that lineup 100%. Judge is going to see more pitches to hit, and if he can stay healthy, I expect them to improve in their 82 wins. But those 82 wins have to come at the expense of the Baltimore Orioles, because they play like it's one of those things. I know it's more of a balanced schedule than it was in years past, but the Orioles, winning another 100, having another 100 win season is going to be a tough road ahead for them. So I don't know if they can possibly get that done. Will they be a playoff team? 100%. Burns adds them a lot of innings, a lot of quality innings. He's a great pitcher. He's one of the best in baseball, and they went out and made that deal to make their team better. And like I said, Jackson Holiday's he's a prospect. I'm not a big prospect hugger. You got to be great before you can say anything, because to me a prospect is just another guy until they prove themselves. A lot of prospects don't do anything, but this Holiday kid seems like the real deal, and until you expect them to be a playoff team, I expect them to win 90 to 95 games. And you're going to see a lot of teams in that American League East are going to be right there with that many wins. It's going to be a tough division. They'll eat themselves alive a little bit, but the Tampa Bay Rays are Tampa Bay, and Toronto's going to be a better team this year. I think Vladdy addition by staying neutral. Yeah, they didn't go sign Matt Holliday or Halliday. Sorry, it's just one of those things. You wonder if Vladdy can be better, if Bichette can be better, and the big wild card for the Jays is obviously Alek Manoah, because if Manoah was only half-assed last year instead of awful, the Jays would have been a much better team. So you wonder how that's all going to turn out with the Toronto Blue Jays and the American League East. But Baltimore's still a force to reckon with now. Like I said, that Burns trade, getting him in the lineup is a great thing for them. Number 5 for me, and it's going to be really interesting to see how this all pans out. The Philadelphia Phillies have been poised to win a World Series for a few years. They had the surprise finals appearance a couple years ago, and then now they lost in the NLCS last year to a surprising Arizona Diamondback team. You just wonder what's going to happen with that Phillies team. They're basically running the exact same team back. They have a high payroll, Bryce Harper and Trey Turner, and on it goes with that team. But they didn't really do anything to get themselves over that next hump, but maybe the hump just was a fluke off year or a fluke year by the Arizona Diamondbacks, and it was just maybe a situation. Losing 2 at home in a row was odd at Citizens Bank Park. You didn't expect the Phillies to lose both games at home in the NLCS, but they did. So did they have to make any deals to get themselves over that hump? I don't think they did, but they didn't. So they agreed with what I was thinking. But could they make a deal before spring training is up and go out and get that left-hander that they might want to get in a Jordan Montgomery, in a Blake Snell, which he's reportedly talking back with the Yankees again, but the Yankees were only going to offer him $25 million, I think it was, and on it goes. But he may have waited too long to get that next deal, because I think you're going to see these guys sign 1 year, show me deals again. But with pitchers, that's a tough thing to do, because you just don't know how if an arm is going to last or if an arm is going to just give way, because eventually it does happen, and it can happen 2 or 3 times in a guy's career. And so you just wonder what's going to happen with those guys not having contracts right now. You're into week 1 of pitches and catches already, so the further it goes on it goes, you wonder what Boris is thinking. He's got 3 or 4 guys, big name guys, that don't have anywhere to play yet, and the money's going to get lesser and lesser, because eventually these guys are going to want to play, because they're going to want to get paychecks. And when you only have X amount of years in your career to get paid, you want to take full advantage of that. So I expect Snell to sign somewhere. And could it be Philadelphia? If they go out and get one of those 2 guys, they'll be right there for a World Series contender once again. But I don't think it matters in that East. You got that Atlanta Braves team is so damn good, but you just look at what they've done, and adding Chris Sale, I think that's a huge addition. If Sale can get healthy again and just put together a Sale-esque kind of a season, he's going to help that Braves team a lot. So you just wonder, it's all going to come together. It's all going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited for that. Yankees aren't a World Series team as of right now. If they can go out and sign Snell, you wonder what Rodon's going to do, and then Stroman, and on it goes. I think that, but the Rodon thing with the Yankees is definitely the most important player on that team, because you expect the other guys should perform up to their standards. You expect Stroman to be a solid number 2.5 guy, but it's basically up to Cole. It's up to Judge. It's up to Soto, and you never know what Soto's addition into that lineup is going to do for Giancarlo Stanton. So it's going to be one of those. It's going to be fun to watch and see how it's all going to play out. Starting in about 4.5, 5 short weeks, Major League Baseball season kind of gets going. So spring training games get going this weekend, or this upcoming week, next weekend. So that should be a lot of fun to watch. Storylines for the day. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe on YouTube, and all that stuff. And make sure you guys, check out all our stuff and listen to some past episodes of the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. For Beer with Sports Talk and a whole lot more. This segment was brought to you by SeatGeek.com, the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420pod over there at SeatGeek.com today and save yourself $20 on your first purchase.
SeatGeek presents Boomstick Lady. SeatGeek helps her find the perfect seat so she can sit where her boomsticks make the biggest boom. Oh, okay. SeatGeek handles the tickets so fans can fan.
Thanks to our friends over there at SeatGeek. We appreciate all they have done for us over the last 3 years. I think they've been with the 1420 podcast. So a lot of thanks go out to SeatGeek, and use promo code 1420pod at SeatGeek.com today. Anyways, as some of you know, or most of you know, if you're I'm now a part of the Lethbridge Bulls Baseball Club here in Lethbridge, WCBL. For those of you who aren't in the greater Lethbridge area, if you're out east somewhere or down in the States, it's Summerwood Collegiate Wood Bat League. Goes 56-game schedule from about, I think, the first week in May to about first week in August, and playoffs get going. So it's a pretty long season, but I'm a part of that baseball off the field operations and all kinds of different titles and things that we got going on. And one thing that we want to get going, get it out there. It's our 25th anniversary, so we're really looking forward to that. And to kick it off, we have a new a t-shirt coming out. We around the office, we came up with this idea. It's the Bull shirt. We have T-Bone, the Bull is our guy. So the Bull shirt, for sale there, right there. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you guys go to bullsbaseball.com and get yourself a Bull shirt. It's just a simple little thing, and if you're in Lethbridge, great. If you're not, even better. Wear it around the nation and show your support for the Lethbridge Bulls and get that Bull shirt name out there. It's a funny little thing. It's not just something to play on words, and it doesn't mean any harm. We're not trying to offend anybody, but yeah, go to bullsbaseball.com. Check out the other merchandise we got coming up this week and get yourself a Bull shirt featuring old T-Bone there. So anyways, there's a funny commercial coming out later on next week for our Bull shirt. Anyways, that's it. 14:20 in the morning. Four coffees is supposed to be worth the sports talk, but it's a little. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon here. I had some running around and things to do since I was not in the mood, I guess, of being a productive human being, or just as an adult. We were having a lot of fun out there in Fort McLeod, having some beers and playing some hockey and reminiscing about the old times. It was a lot of fun, like I said. Anyways, that's it for 14:20 in the morning. Remember, everybody, it doesn't matter where you are, it's who you're with. Have a good day, folks, and we'll talk to you guys tonight.
You just listened to the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. 4 beer with sports talk and a whole lot more. We are part of the Belly Up Media Network. Let's get in.